Podcast. Drive. I'm driving. You're probably driving. Drive together. A little podcast. Companion podcast. Driver's partner podcast. We'll go. When I wanted to talk about this. We had football this week. And football, as much as I love football, I don't really know anything about football, but one of the observations I've had of football is that it's one of the only sports where, regardless of the play, both fan bases get to celebrate. I was watching, I don't remember which game it was. I watched 3 games, the Packers, the Bears. I watched the Giants, the Cowboys, whoever the heck the other Sunday game was. And whatever, it's not the point. Guy goes over the middle, gets a first down, gets hit extremely hard by the linebacker, and everybody celebrates. The linebacker celebrates, the offense celebrates the first down. Now, I was trying to think, is there another sport that allows everybody to celebrate? Maybe in tennis. There's like a good volley back and forth. You get like everyone to clap and be like, yay, that was exciting. Pickleball. But I don't think there's another team sport that allows that. People say, oh, baseball, maybe that would count because in baseball you might have like a shortstop make a great play and throw a guy out. But that's more like oohs and ahs. There's no like joint celebration when clearly one team succeeded and failed. So I really struggled for a while to think about what other sport would allow for such an event to occur, and I failed to come up with it. So I guess that's your job listening on the other end of it. If you can think of another situation that would allow for both teams to celebrate, not both teams in the sense that if you're an opposing team and you see a really cool dunk, you're the home team, and the opposing team throws on a really cool dunk or big home run, like you might be like, whoa, that's awesome. That doesn't count. Because you're celebrating one event. Very rarely do you have an event where you celebrate both outcomes. Like, that tackle was awesome, so I'm going to celebrate for my team. And then you have the other team, that's a first down, I'm going to celebrate my team. There doesn't seem to be another sport that lends itself to that ability, whatever it might be. Just think about it, ponder it. I'll pass that one off to you. I was trying to think of one before this. I couldn't. I really couldn't. But if you do, let me know. Football, unique football. Oh, fall. What a good time of year. Good sports year. Got off the lull of the crap summer. I guess FIBA basketball kind of helped. But with fall, I'm here in Iowa. You have the change in the corn. Then you have pumpkin patches. And when you go to a pumpkin patch, typically at some farmland with corn there, and they have a series of things you can do at the pumpkin patch. For those people not familiar with the pumpkin patch, imagine like the manifestation or the physical representation of a pumpkin spiced latte. You have pictures of pumpkins, you have pumpkins. This one we go to has goats, and the goats walk around, and you can feed the goats, which is really cool. I love some goats walking around. And here's an off-topic thought. Whenever I see something, I often wonder, what's the biggest version of that thing? Like whenever I see a goat, I always wonder, what's the biggest goat to ever exist? Not biggest goat you've seen, like what's the largest goat to ever exist? Do you think it's bigger than a golden retriever? Yeah, I think a goat already is bigger than a golden retriever. Golden retrievers are kind of big though. Is it bigger than a small horse? 200 could the biggest goat defeat the smallest lion to ever exist? It's a good question. Whatever. When I see these, that's what I think. Like, I'll look at corn. Like, I wonder what's the tallest corn stalk to ever exist. 10 feet? Corn's like 6.5 feet normally. 7 feet tall, 6.5. Taller than me. I'm 6'2". No, maybe it is taller than me. 6, 7 feet tall normally is corn. I want the tallest corn stalk to ever exist. So next time you're out and about in your daily activities, it's always fun to look at stuff and wonder what is the largest or smallest, the most extreme version of that thing you've ever seen. Like a dandelion. What's the biggest dandelion to ever exist? Above 2 feet? Like, is it surprisingly not that large, or is it surprisingly large? Because as I drive here, you can see on the side of the road, there's these weeds, like weeds that grow. Like, you've probably done lawn work before. What are those, like, prickly leaf, I don't know, weeds that you see, you step on, they hurt, like that little nettle, I don't know what they're called. You've seen them before, though. They look like the classic weed. And they have little spikies on them, and you step on them, and they're like, ow, that really hurts. And when they're growing, they first start growing, they're pretty small. They look like, I don't know, maybe 6 inches off the ground. And they got leaves, and they have the little spiky spikes on them. And then you step on them, and they hurt. But when they grow all the way, they're way tall. Just like they're like 4 feet tall. You never would imagine they're that tall. And they have like a flower on them. So again, one of those things that you might not think much of at the time, but actually is much larger. This is the extreme version of it's way more. But back to the pumpkin patch. At the pumpkin patch, the reason I brought that up because they'll do like the biggest pumpkin there. It's like the pumpkin weighing competitions and stuff like that. Apparently, a pumpkin's like 1,000 pounds. 1,000-pound pumpkin. You can build a house in a 1,000-pound pumpkin. 1,000-pound pumpkin. What's the biggest watermelon ever? I like watermelon. What's the biggest watermelon to ever exist? 1,000-pound pumpkin. And so they have these things in the pumpkin patch, and the pumpkin patch is fun and fine. They have corn mazes and whatnot. But it's that season right now, and next time you go and enjoy a pumpkin patch, which hopefully you get to, you can go ask the people there the biggest pumpkin they've ever had. I'm sure they'll happily tell you because they're pumpkin people. That's what they'd like to do. But with that, where was I going? I was going with cornfields, and I've next to a cornfield and pumpkin patches and cornfields that time of year. And cornfields, to think of crop circles and aliens. And one of the other things I was wondering is if I ever had, these are the thought experiments I have at the wee hours of the evening. If an alien were to land outside, what would I do? Like if I was sitting at my kitchen table and I saw an alien land in the crops and make a crop circle and walk out, would you film him? Would you try and talk to him? I'm always concerned if I film him, somehow he's going to erase my footage. Would you Instagram live him? So you're immediately streamed, so it's evergreen on a platform, saved on there. It's probably the best bet to do it. You want to somehow like film him and then maybe message someone as fast as you can. Would you try and talk to them? I always thought like I would try and film him, put that on some sort of a cloud somewhere, or send it out as fast as I could, so there's evidence that this thing exists, good, decent enough quality footage. But then I'd probably try and communicate with the alien. Because if I meet my maker because I communicated with an alien, that's like a pretty cool way to go relative to the other options I have in life. And there's not many times you get a chance to meet an alien. So I think I definitely would try to communicate. Probability they're not evil. But my order of events would definitely go recognize, film, but I would try and like kind of film secretly so he didn't feel offended. I always kind of assumed that if an alien saw me whip out a phone, they'd be not as willing to communicate. I don't know, just a thought. Maybe they don't want to be widely noticed. And phone, stream, so get the message out, communicate. And then I probably would try to invite them to do an activity with me. I think too many people would just try and be concerned with the alien. But I feel like trying to get them to do something with you they're there for a reason. Now, what would I want to have an alien do with me? It'd be pretty cool just to like invite him in the house for a meal. Assuming he wants a meal. I don't know. I feel like too many people, they want to, the movie show fear and like if he was trying to do something already, he would have done something. Like a ghost. If I just saw a ghost, people are like, oh my gosh, the ghost is going to get me. No, I think I would talk to the ghost. Like, look, man, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. The ghost is really here to haunt you and get you. You really think running from it's going to be the way to circumvent your inevitable doom? No, talk to the dude. Talk to the ghost. This is so illogical. They prey on your emotional fear, your amygdala response, your animal brain to be like, ah, it's an enemy. If there's a sentient, non-physical being in my presence, such as a ghost, let's have a chat, man. Let's have a conversation. That's probably what I would do. Maybe I wouldn't film. Maybe I'd ask permission to film. That'd be the best route to do it. Those are kind of things I've been thinking of. I just got to where I'm supposed to be, so it's a very short drive. I guess it's an 11-minute drive companion. Maybe I'll put like the time on it. So this is a drive companion, 11 minutes of what, you can make it last for. And those are some topics we had. And there's obviously more topics I didn't get to. Best breakfasts, pancake versus waffles, cereals, ice cream. I do want to go over next time if I were to make an ice cream shop, what it would look like. Not physically, but the top 8 ingredients, flavors I'd have. I just went to a good ice cream place this weekend. And I like to practice, because I know someday I'll have to make an ice cream shop. It's just inevitable. So I like to get some reps in as to what I would list as flavors, what unique flavors I'd go with, what kind of common flavors I'd go with. And again, it's not like the flavor ingredients have to be parsed out per se. I actually know how to make it taste good. I assume everything tastes good. I just want to walk through top 8 ingredients you would find interesting at an ice cream shop. I'll do that next time with you guys. I appreciate you all as always. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. Drive Companion Part 1. Peace.